Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior and welcome to another Mortal Kombat video. Now in today's video I want to talk about something that's kind of surface, that's brought on a lot of controversy about this character, and seeing as she's only a few mere weeks away, I definitely wanted to touch on this topic. Now this information has in fact been around for a substantial amount of time, when we finally got news about the Kombat Pack. Now I myself knew about this alteration to her backstory, and I have decided to hold off talking about it up until now. The main reason why I'm doing this is because she is around the corner, and I do want to explain the issues of her changes to her origin, and about how I myself do not in fact like the alterations at all, because out of all of the changes characters may have undergone in the reboot, Sindel's is the most severe, and does 110% deviate away from what the core character was all about. So definitely expect this video to be a bit ranty. Now before I give you the new details of her origins, let's talk about her original backstory, so then I can in fact compare the two, and why it really doesn't work for the character, and if anything gives us an unfaithful portrayal of the character, because boy oh boy am I not a fan of these retcons. Now in order to talk about Sindel's backstory, we need to go very far back in time, before the Mortal Kombat tournaments were created and Shao Kahn invaded Edenia. Now Sindel is of Edenian descent, and because of this, she has somewhat supernatural abilities. Although the Edenians are human in appearance, they are known to be far stronger than their human counterparts, be far more in touch with the magical side of things, and do age at an extremely slow rate. So a few thousand-year-old Edenian could in fact just look like Kitana or Jade. Age isn't really a factor for them, and thus they do remain in their youth for a very long amount of time, with many even describing them as immortal. Now although Sindel's adulthood and childhood is somewhat shrouded in mystery, we know that Sindel herself was royalty, as she was married to none other than the king of that realm, Jared. Now Jared was always a strong and faithful individual, one that believed in his people and was a somewhat kind ruler. Now Sindel and Jared were deeply in love, and the two eventually conceived a child, that being Kitana, but their happiness would not last, as whilst this was going on, Edenia was currently battling Outworld in Mortal Kombat, and with the rules of the tournament, if a side were to win 10 consecutive tournaments, then they were given the green light by the Elder Gods in order to invade said realm. Now unfortunately for Sindel, Jared, Kitana and the rest of their fellow Edenians, their home would be invaded by Outworld, with Sindel and Kitana being stripped from Jared's arms, as he was killed by the ruthless Shao Kahn. Now as tradition with Shao Kahn, after he typically invades a realm and purges its people, he gives one or two survivors the opportunity to join him, and he presented this idea to Sindel, as he was in fact interested in having Sindel become his queen. Now in order to save herself as well as her daughter, Sindel would give up her free will to join Shao Kahn and save Kitana, in the secret hopes that one day she would be able to free Edenia from the Outworld merge. But unfortunately over the course of time, Sindel's fortitude began to crumble under Shao Kahn's control, as she was forced to marry the Emperor. Now in a last-ditch effort and way of sticking it to Shao Kahn, Sindel would take her own life and create a protective barrier for Earthrealm, as she was aware that Shao Kahn was interested in invading it. Now unfortunately she would have to give up her daughter Kitana, but she had done this for the greater good. Now of course later down the line she would be resurrected against her will, coming back as an evil and tainted individual, but with assistance from her grown-up daughter, Sindel was eventually able to overcome Shao Kahn's influence, and with Kitana the two would take back Edenia and maintain a very close relationship. The last gift that Jared had left her was in fact Kitana. Even when Kitana was killed and brought back as an evil puppet by Onaga, she could not raise her hand to her daughter, and thus was going to allow herself to be captured until Jade stepped in. Now I'm telling you these bits and pieces of information to give you an idea of the type of character that Sindel is. She is a caring mother to her core. She's an individual that sacrificed her life for the greater good, and did so in order to protect others from experiencing what she had. Now even in the events of MK9, not that much has been changed. Although the details are vague, it's implied through a lot of verbal exchanges, but Sindel herself as a character has not changed in the reboot. But in saying that, let's actually talk about her MK11 incarnation. Now this is apparently her new origin story. The former queen of Edenia will stop at nothing to keep her place. When threatened with the loss of her throne when Shao Kahn conquered her realm, Sindel betrayed her husband and her people to keep her privileged position. Now Shao Kahn's wife and queen of Outworld, she enjoys power and wealth beyond most people's imagination. Okay, No. Now normally I'm kind of okay when they alter and change some aspects about characters. However, in this case and scenario, no, this does not work. This butchers Sindel's character. She's now just simply a gold digger sleeping her way to power. I 110% despise this alteration to Sindel's character. This is an awful idea. Not only does it make this incarnation of Sindel seem extremely shallow, but it completely removes all of her redeeming characteristics and sacrifices she made in the original timeline. She's simply nothing more and nothing less than a hollow shell of the deep character she used to be. I mean, hell, why would she even be dead in the first place? It doesn't make sense. Now, I understand some of you might be saying she's always been evil since MK9, to which I say that's actually wrong. Allow me to explain why this alteration has only been made recently in MK11. In MK9, when you look at her backstory, it says the following. The mother of Kitana, Queen Sindel, was forced into a marriage with Shao Kahn when he conquered her realm of Edenia. In an attempt to thwart the Emperor's design on Earthrealm, she sacrificed herself. Her suicide created a magical ward preventing him from setting foot there. But now the barrier has been dissolved. Sindel has been resurrected, her mind enslaved by Shao Kahn. Earthrealm's former ally has become a deadly threat. So she was never in fact written to be this way. This is a retcon and alteration to her character in MK11. And to somewhat solidify the point that she was never supposed to be evil in MK9 is even in her damn arcade ladder ending. Although for the most part arcade ladder endings do not affect the main canon, what Sindel did in her arcade ladder ending was an accurate portrayal of who she is as a character, not the individual who we are having put in MK11. This is a hollow, butchered and watered down version of the individual we saw in the original timeline, as well as the person she was supposed to be in MK9. Now normally I don't mind reboots, alterations and changes to characters. Hell, even I myself am not that big of a Sindel fan, but what they've done here is not Sindel. It's seemingly a change and a retcon that's been applied for no reason. It in no way in shape and form benefits the character, and if anything, hurts who she used to be. And I absolutely, with every fiber of my being, am extremely disappointed that they went in this direction for this character. She's always been an extremely caring and strong supporting character for Kitana, so seeing her devolve into a gold digger rubs me the wrong way completely. Unfortunately, this is definitely something set in stone, but I wanted to talk about this in order to draw the lines of symmetry and talk about why to me this is a problem, as it goes against who Sindel was as a character and what she did represent. Okay, rant somewhat kind of over. I apologize for this somewhat seeming like an overreaction, but I'm really not fond of retcons that go this far, as it's just simply unfaithful to the character. If they were going to create an individual like this, just make it be a different individual character. As the saying goes, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I'm fine with changes and alterations to a character in a reboot, but it has to be done in such a way that it benefits the character and adds something new to what we know. This does none of that. So I did want to make this video to address the changes that were made, because from what you can tell, I'm not exactly a big fan, but that for the most part seems to be everything I wanted to say about Sindel in this video and the changes and alterations in the established canon. Now, what are your thoughts on these changes? Do you like the new origin story that she has been given, as it may add a form of flavor that the character's been lacking, or are you very much so on the same side of the fence that I am, that feels like this was an unnecessary alteration? Please do comment down below, as I really would like to get a conversation going about this, as I definitely do feel like it's a very hot topic right now in the community. But yeah guys, that's definitely everything I do want to say here. I do apologize for the lack of uploads recently, but there will definitely be more videos coming out this week, so please do keep an eye out. Now, as always, before this video wraps up, if possible, let's try getting it to about 500 likes, as it's honestly the best way of supporting this channel. And also do not forget to tick that bell, as it will notify you when I do upload a video. But yes, that is it for now, and as always, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I will see you all next time.